Well, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to today's presentation. We are from Group 4, which consists of Miss Shofa Fadila, Sintia Nuraini, and Lisna Oktapia. All right, today we would like to present our result discussions about reporting an article on data analysis step using Pandic approach. So without further ado, let's start with the first presenter, Lisna Oktapia. Time is yours.
Okay, thank you, Sofa. So I'd like to discuss about the introduction. The article analyzed Indonesian media's representation of WHO during COVID-19 using Pandit's CDA framework and systematic functional linguistics by examining 5 news outlets from January 2022. It explores how language shapes authority, credibility, and public health awareness. And the purpose of this presentation is to provide a summary of key points that can be learned by looking at how news media in Indonesia discussed the World Health Organization during the pandemic, using Pandit framework approach in data analysis, so that we can understand how language use can influence authority, credibility, and social change. And next one is about overview. The Pandit model uses micro and macro structures through systematic functional linguistics to analyze how Indonesian media represent WHO during COVID-19. It examines word choice, sentence structure, and themes to reveal biases and how language shapes our public opinion and policy. So the Pandit model in this concept is the concept of macro rules and microstructures, which in its realization uses systematic functional linguistics from Halliday and Effie Design, which this concept analyzes how news media in Indonesia represent WHO as the holder of the health authority during the COVID-19 pandemic through the implications of discourse structures with word selection, sentence structure, and themes that are highlighted to reveal certain biases or tendencies in the news and analyze how the relationship between language and power helps reveal how media discourse can strengthen or challenge exciting power structure so as to influence public opinion and policy. And that's all from me. Back to Sofa. Thank you.
All right, thank you so much, Lisna, for your presentation. So let's continue to the next presenter, Sintia Nuraini. Time is yours.
Thank you, Sofa, for giving me the time to contain the material. So the next point is step-by-step data analysis process. Step 1 is data collection. The data was collected by using textual analysis. The author collects data by searching for news article on Google, then manually selected 5 reports made by the most famous media in Indonesia. And step 2 is contextual analysis. There are 3 contexts considered in contextual analysis. First is social context, public interest and attention to health issues, the role of the media as the main source of information for the community. And second is cultural context. Cultural norms and values can influence people's awareness of health. And the third is historical context. This study is inspired by previous studies on the role of the media in interpreting the WHO and the COVID-19 pandemic as global historical. And step 3 is discourse analysis. The specific discourse structure in this article focuses on 3 main discourse structure. First is macrostructure analysis, examine the overall structure of the news article and also how WHO is positioned as the main or dominant role. The second is microstructure analysis, examine certain linguistic features like the choice of words, sentences, and also the style of language in the text. And last is argumentative structure, examining how the Indonesian media construct arguments to justify the role of the WHO focusing on legitimation strategies and the balance between authority and hegemony. And step 4 is analytical analysis. The author used macrostructure and Halliday transitivity as the microstructure analysis method by analyzing specific linguistics to strengthen the result of the same analysis, which is used by each online media to interpret WHO as the global topic. And the last step is interpretation of findings. The author interprets this finding by highlighting the relationship between language, power, and social change in the context of media coverage in Indonesia. And the next slide. Okay, the next one is example from the article. The example from this research article used scientific approach. First is macrostructure. The global topic, the WHO role in the analysis is basically defined by this one word, dominant, where 62.22% of global topics are dominated by WHO, which causes WHO to become the main authority. For example, the WHO reminds that continuously administering booster vaccine can stop the pandemic by the date from January 7, 2022. And the second is microstructure. They are divided into 2, thematization. The WHO calls for the use of the Pfizer vaccine for children 5 to 11 years to be expanded by Antara from January 22, 2022. The placement of the word WHO at the beginning of the sentence emphasizes the WHO's authority as the main source of information that can influence the reader's perspective so that they consider WHO's recommendation as the policy. And transitivity. The example is the WHO reminds continuous booster vaccine injection cannot stop the pandemic by the date from January 7, 2022. WHO act as the information provider reinforce the narrative that the media only repeats WHO statement. And that's enough for me. Give back to Sofa. Thank you.
All right, thank you so much, Cynthia, for your presentation. So let's take the conclusion that funding approach is effective and analyzes the representation of WHO in the Indonesian media by providing a structured framework that allows for a comprehensive analysis of discourse. The conclusion of the media analysis on WHO during the COVID-19 pandemic in Indonesia show that WHO is positioned as a dominant authority in health management. Through a clear critical discourse analysis, or CDA, with a funding framework, this research focus on three main discourse structure, namely macrostructure, microstructure, and argumentative structure. So, in addition, the research implication for the next future is expected to elaborate more in deep part than what has already existed from this research. So, maybe that's all from us. Thank you so much for your attention. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.